Photo blue just for Tony Pizza.
Tony Pizza nervous laugh.
Tony Pizza 100% defeated.
Pizzaverse Grimtales, if you give Tony Pizza a muffin. If you give Tony Pizza a muffin, he's going to tell you he used to own the bakery. He'll say back in '78, him and Fat Joey invented muffins in Brooklyn. If you let him talk about it, he'll start name-dropping everyone from Carlo Gambino to Betty Crocker. Then he'll ask you for a coffee. Extra sugar, kid. Like 15 spoons, I got low energy. When you give him the coffee, he'll start telling you how he used to drink espresso with John Gotti before school. And while he's talking, he'll pull out a cigar the size of a turkey leg and light it right next to your muffins. Then he'll see the butter and tell you how he personally taught Paula Deen how to use it. He'll grab a knife, slice the muffin, and somehow turn it into a business lesson. He'll go, "See, Bambi, this here's the muffin of respect. You take a bite without permission, you're finished." Then he'll ask if you can call a guy to film him eating the muffin for YouTube, 'cause it's gonna go viral, real mob stuff. When you say no, he'll get offended, call you a rat, and storm out mumbling about how nobody respects old school anymore. But give it 15 minutes. He'll call you from the gas station, saying the muffin was evidence, and he's got to go on a live stream to clear his name. And when he gets home, he'll say he's hungry again. So you guessed it, he's gonna want another muffin. Moral of the story: never feed Tony Pizza, not even a crumb, or you'll end up in a 3-hour live stream, a fake RICO indictment, and a conspiracy about who ate the last muffin. And so the tale ends, my friends. Tony Pizza, once again, proven that if you give him anything, from a muffin to a microphone, you're in for 3 hours of rambling, delusion, and bad storytelling that don't add up even if you use mob math. He'll swear the muffin came from a secret recipe from Al Capone's niece. He'll claim he invented butter. He'll probably start a GoFundMe for legal fees against the muffin cartel. And you'll be sitting there exhausted, covered in crumbs, questioning all your life choices. But hey, in the Pizzaverse, that's just another Tuesday night. So remember this. Next time some fake tough guy shows up in a Batman tee talking about "I ran the streets," don't hand him a muffin, hand him a mirror. Let him take a long look at himself and maybe, just maybe, he'll see the frosting on his own nonsense. Until then, my beautiful crew, keep your muffins close, your receipts closer, and your respect earned, not live streamed. This has been a Pizzaverse Grimtale, if you give Tony Pizza a muffin. Brought to you by the Pizzaverse, where the stories are sweet. The lessons hit harder than espresso. And the fakes, well, we roast them better than any bakery ever could. So hit that like, smash that subscribe. And remember, when in this family, we don't chase clout, we chase truth. 'Cause this is the Pizzaverse, and we don't miss. A Pizzaverse Grimtale, the ballad of Tony Bum Pizza and the Vietnamese Shoe Mafia. A Tony Pizza true story. The Bum of Bay Ridge. Tony Bum Pizza wasn't always a bum. Once upon a grime-stained time in Brooklyn, he was just another loudmouth corner hustler with delusions bigger than his unpaid bar tab. He used to hang by the pizza parlor on 86th Street, telling anyone who'd listen how he used to run with the Italians, though nobody ever saw him run anywhere except away from a bill. He wore the same pair of busted-up loafers every day, split soles, talking tongues, smelled like they'd been through every gutter from Coney Island to Staten. He said they were lucky. Truth was, they were the only things that hadn't left him yet. One night, sitting outside an all-night bodega with a slice in one hand and a Colt 45 in the other, Tony overheard two guys talking about a new crew out of Vietnam. Slick, quiet, rich. They called themselves the Shoe Mafia, a global outfit that moved high-end counterfeit sneakers like contraband gold. Adidas, Jordans, Prada loafers, even limited edition kicks people'd kill for. Tony's eyes lit up like slot machines. He figured, hey, shoes are like pizza. Everybody wants a piece. That was his first mistake. Tony pawned his mother's bracelet, borrowed cash from a loan shark named Sal the Slicer, and hopped a one-way flight to Hanoi. He showed up wearing a Hawaiian shirt, fake Rolex, and that same pair of stinking loafers. Smelled like regret and garlic knots. At the airport, customs didn't even stop him. They took one whiff and waved him through. He finds his way to an old quarter noodle house run by Madame Lan, the rumored matriarch of the Shoe Mafia. Picture a woman in her 60s with hair black as lacquer, eyes like obsidian, and hands that had strangled more deals than cigars. She ran her empire out of that noodle shop, faux in the front, forgery in the back. Tony strolls in like he owns the joint, drops a greasy portfolio on her table. Madame Lan, he says, I'm the pizza connection. I'm here to bring you into the American footwear market. She just looks at him. No blink, no smile. Takes a sip of broth. You bring dishonor to footwear, she says. Tony laughs, thinks she's joking. Two bodyguards step forward, both in matching hand-stitched patent leather loafers. Nice kicks, Tony says. One of them says back, dead serious, we kill for less. But Lon ain't cruel, just cautious. She lets him pitch. Tony babbles about Italian designs, Brooklyn swagger, imported class. He offers to be her American distributor. Split profits, 60-40, her 60, his 40. Lan listens amused. She agrees to a trial run. She hands him a box wrapped in red silk. Sell these in your country, she says, and return in 1 moon. Inside, a dozen pairs of flawless white sneakers, stitched by hand, logo clean, smell like heaven's leather. Tony flies back to Jersey, sells them out of his trunk in 2 days flat. Everybody wants a pair. Thing is, he gets greedy. Instead of sending Lan her cut, he goes to a warehouse in Newark, tries to copy the design. Only problem, he swaps her sacred stitching for cheap glue. The first shipment melts in the heat like mozzarella on asphalt. Customers sue, Lan gets word. Tony's sitting in a motel off Route 9 when the phone rings. It's a voice, low, foreign, echoing. You broke the promise, you walk without honor, now you walk without soul. Next morning his shoes are gone, just gone. He buys a new pair, they fall apart in an hour. He steals sneakers from Walmart, soles rot off before he leaves the parking lot. No matter what he wears, his feet blister, bleed, burn. The curse stuck like marinara to a white suit. He starts telling people the CIA cursed him for being too connected. He wanders barefoot through the city muttering about the shoe people. Cops pick him up twice, think he's crazy. He probably is. Months later, broke and desperate, Tony sells his gold tooth for a ticket back to Hanoi. He finds Lon again in that same noodle shop. She don't even look surprised. You return to pay your debt? She asks. Tony falls to his knees. Please take off the curse. I'll do anything. I'll make it right. She nods once, gestures to the kitchen. A servant brings out a pair of white sneakers with red stitching, her mark. Wear thee, she says, and your debt is settled, but walk straight. He slips them on. They fit perfect. Feels like clouds under his feet. He cries. He swears he'll be good. Lan smiles thin. Remember, every step carries the weight of your word. Tony walks out feeling reborn. He starts planning his comeback, thinking maybe he'll open Pizza and Kicks, a chain where you get a slice and a pair of sneakers. That night, he's strolling near the Mekong River, talking to himself about global franchises, when he spots a reflection in the water, his sneakers glowing red. Suddenly, the soles catch fire. The heat sears through his feet. He screams, tries to pull them off. No good. They fuse to his skin. The curse was never lifted. Lan's voice echoes through the night. A crooked man walks only toward his end. By dawn, the locals find nothing but 2 scorch marks on the dock shaped like slices of pizza. Years later, sailors in Saigon whisper about a barefoot ghost who limps through the alleys, smelling like burnt crust and cheap cologne. They call him Tony Bum Pizza, the lost soul. And if you ever buy counterfeit shoes in a back alley market, check the tongues. If you see a faint pizza slice symbol stitched inside, you better run. 'Cause that means Tony's spirit touched that pair, and you might be next to walk barefoot into hell. Spirit Halloween exclusive. Tony Fake Wise Guy, Pizza YouTube, Grifter Costume. Cry about rent one night, brag about being untouchable the next. What's inside the bag? Fake mob resume, complete with I knew Sammy the Bull scribbled in crayon. Plastic cup of coffee and cigarette prop. Never leaves his hand, even when begging for super chats. Dog puppet named Leon. Comes pre-stuffed, no feeding required. T-shirt with stains. Authentic sauce marks for that live stream on the sidewalk look. Cardboard sign reads, donate or I'll spill secrets in crooked Sharpie. Grifter goggles. Helps you see imaginary connections to every wise guy from Brooklyn to Sicily. Optional add-ons sold separately. Iceman poisoned my cheeseburger. Story expansion pack. YouTube Live donate pop-up window blinks every 30 seconds. Bonus untouchable sound button. Press it and hear I was made kid, made. Warning, costume may spontaneously start rambling about RICO cases, ex-wives and rats in the chat. Caution, extended wear may cause urges to grift from your neighbors. Moral of the story. In the Pizzaverse, there's 3 things you don't counterfeit: family, loyalty, and craftsmanship. 'Cause once your word falls apart, kid, your souls ain't far behind. And so ends the legend of Tony Bum Pizza, the barefoot bandit of Bay Ridge, the man who tried to walk on lies and slipped on his own soles. He flew halfway around the world for fortune and wound up walking straight into a curse. In the end, Madame Lan didn't need to kill him. She just reminded him, in this world, you earn respect with craft, not counterfeit. Every promise is like a pair of shoes. Kid, the more you cut corners, the faster they fall apart. Now they say on humid nights in Hanoi or back alleys in Brooklyn, you can still hear the slap of burnt feet against pavement, followed by the whisper of a woman laughing through incense smoke. That's Tony Bum Pizza walking off his debt one step at a time. From the streets of the Pizzaverse. This twisted slice of folklore has been brought to you by Bambi Palermo and narrated Vincent DiPrio. The storytellers behind the Pizzaverse grim tales where greed gets baked and every crust hides a curse. If you like your fairy tales with more grit than glitter, hit subscribe, ring that bell, and step into the oven, baby, where stories rise, lies burn, and nobody walks away clean. Thanks for watching. This ain't just another bedtime story. This is the Pizzaverse. And around here, we don't miss.
And he flew to Vietnam and built the fucking plane with fucking sneakers. Brought him back to the States, gave it to his son, said, tell your friends, $12 a pair. No. Who the fuck is Big Mark?
If Bambi Palermo ever rolled up on me, I'd stuff her in her own trunk.
Tell my story. The Iceman poisoned my cheeseburger. I beat up Hector Camacho in a street fight. I fought in MSG while Floyd Patterson and Jerry Cooney were watching. I spent $20,000 in a week with Sammy the Bull. Yeah, right. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the fucking Con-Man. Yeah, right. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the fucking Con-Man. I was mistaken for Joey Molino when I was in South Philly and interviewed by the media. I shared champagne with John Cena in Florida when Mikey the Bat was killed. John Gotti kissed me on the forehead and said they don't make men like us anymore. I was arrested in Utah with a machine gun on my way to whack Sammy the Ball. Yes, sir! Tony the Bomb! Tony the Bomb! Tony the fucking Bomb! I had a beef with the Bordeaux and ran to Philly where I met Salvi Testa. John Gotti kissed me on the forehead and said they don't make men like us anymore. I have streets with my last name on it in Malta and Sicily. Okay, Tony the bullshitter! Tony the bullshitter! Tony the fucking bullshitter! I hung around John Gotti, Tony Pep, Joey Bang Bang from the Bronx, the Varios, the Testers. I was hog-tied and thrown off a bridge, only to be saved by a clever. I hung out with a guy named Captain Chaos. Sonny Francis used to bounce me off his lap and feed me bacon. Yeah! Tony the storyteller! Tony the storyteller! Tony the fucking storyteller. The FBI used to watch me from the van while I panhandled from my refrigerator box like a filthy bum. I spent 20 years with Peter Pasta and Sonny Francesi and Michael for 2 years. People watched my Maltese cross 3 times in Malta, all the way in Malta. Sure, they ain't dead. Tony is scumbag. Tony is scumbag. Tony, you fucking scumbag. You can't be something you're not. Fake mobster, cop, collar, king, doctor. King Tut, Fiji, black, but cold dancer. Shaka, shaka, boo, boo, boo. You're squatting in that abandoned camp, betrayed in your sense of their hard-earned money. Their hard-earned money. Devising new schemes to steal more of that money. Their hard-earned money. Tony the grifter. Tony the grifter. Tony the fucking grifter. Give me more money or it'll leave you too. Give me more money or we'll get rid of Leon. Give me more money, I'm looking for a job. My call the cops, Joey Dimes is coming.
Are you tired of honesty? Sick of straight answers? Want to throw your money away faster than a gambler in Atlantic City? Then boy, do we got the man for you. Introducing Tony Bum Pizza. The only YouTuber who can tell you he's homeless and a mob boss in the same breath. Cry about rent one night and brag about being untouchable the next. Survive poison pizza from the Iceman while somehow still losing to a Motel 6 manager. Act now and you'll get the Leon Dog Bark soundtrack. Every time you donate, hear Leon cough like he's begging for royalties. The motel curtain backdrop, TM, adds that authentic hobo chic atmosphere to any live stream. Tony's 3-in-1 Lies package. Part gangster. Part veteran. Part bum. 100% baloney. But wait, there's more. If you call now, Tony will throw in a fake Kuklinski pizza slice comes pre-poisoned with oregano. A sob story about the dog's surgery that never happens. and his signature phrase, "Send me money or I'll disappear." Warning: side effects include uncontrollable laughter, regret for every dollar spent, and realizing you just got grifted by a guy who can't even pay for Wi-Fi. Tony Bum Pizza, because why donate to charity when you can sponsor a clown?
Pizzaverse strong. Motherfucker strong.
Bambi Palermo running around Pizzaverse. Fuck you and Pizzaverse.
A Pizzaverse Grimtail, Green Eggs and Ham, the Tony Bum Pizza livestream. A Bambi Palermo and Pizzaverse Studios production. Now gather round, you mugs, come close, for a story about clout, chaos, and toast. It starts one night in a dirty old flat, with a bum in a Batman tee and a crooked hat. Yo, what's good, chat? You know the deal. Tony Bum Pizza, yelled loud, spitting fake appeal. I'm mobbed up, made, I got respect. Meanwhile, his rent check just got rejected. He sat in his chair, his mic all fuzzy, talking tough but looking crusty. Let me tell you something, he said with a cough. I did time, I'm tough, I never soft. Then in the chat rolled Joey Dimes, dropping bars and slick-ass rhymes. Yo, Pizza, my dude, you a mess on cam? You ever try them green eggs and ham? Tony scoffed. Green eggs? That's sick. I'm a legend, not some breakfast shtick. Joey grinned. Relax, it's fun. Maybe for once, you'll get things done. Now Tony's kitchen, oh sweet Mary, looked like a crime scene gone culinary. Grease stains, crumbs, a microwave dent. That's where his dignity packed up and went. All right, chat, you want to see me cook? Let's show these haters I ain't no crook. He cracked them eggs, green goo slid slow. Christ, Joey, this thing's starting to glow. Smoke alarms wail, pots hit the wall. Joey, you trying to kill me, pal? He took a bite, his eyes went wide, like he just met Jesus on the inside. He hacked, he gagged, he cursed the screen. You sick bastards, you set me up mean. Joey laughed so hard he nearly died. Yo, Tony, that's content, certified. Content? I'm choking you, prick. Exactly, said Joey. Views come quick. Tony's face turned a nuclear green. Chat went wild. Best stream they'd seen. Super chats flew like confetti at mass. One guy tipped 20 just to call him an ass. Tony screamed, "You'll all be sorry!" Then tripped on a cord, tragic glory. Next day, Joey's live, cigar in hand. Let's recap Tony's one-man band. Clips rolled, Tony yelling, FBI. Someone typed, bro thinks he's a wise guy. Joey winked at chat. This is art. A bum unraveling live from the heart. Aaron dropped in. Yo, stream's insane. I just clipped it for the Hall of Shame. Then in comes Frank Picarero, deadpan smooth. Fellas, that bum don't got nothing to prove. Sun-grown puffed, exhaling smoke. Tony's just karma telling a joke. But here's the kicker, don't you see? That bum went viral on day 3. Now merch stores shout, Green Egg King. He even got sponsors, the stupid thing. Yo, Bambina, said Joey. It's kinda grim. He got famous for acting like him. Bambi smirked. That's the game, my friend. In the age of lies, truth's the trend. Moral of the story. So listen close, my Pizzaverse crew. Here's the moral I'll drop on you. You can fake fame, you can fake your past, but the truth will find you and roast your ass. You can eat green eggs or spam or lies, but the flavor fades, the truth survives. So be like Dimes, keep humor tight, call out clowns, but stay polite. Ish. Word to the wise. Esurionism. So next time you see a live stream bum talking tough while chewing gum, remember Tony and his breakfast scam and say, no thanks, I'm good, ma'am. This has been a Bambi Palermo Pizzaverse Studios production. Written, directed, and seasoned with sarcasm. Follow for more stories, laughs, and lessons. where fairy tales meet felony confessions. Stay smart, stay loyal, stay out of the comments section.
Waste my time with these fucking morons. Stand guy, he'll get his beating one day. He will. I promised him a beating. He'll get it. He's going to get it. The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind, like painted kites.
Munchie's Vegas Survival Kit. Because emotional stability is for civilians. Are you currently chain-smoking under neon lights? Dating dangerous people with untreated anger issues? Gambling money you absolutely should not be gambling? Staring dramatically out penthouse windows at 4 a.m., questioning your entire existence? Then congratulations, sweetheart. You may already be living the Vegas lifestyle. But don't panic. Because now there's help. Introducing the all-new Munchie's Vegas Survival Kit, the official emergency starter package for anybody emotionally trapped inside a collapsing casino empire. For just 3 easy payments of bad decisions, you'll receive 1 carton of cigarettes, industrial strength waterproof mascara, a complimentary fake alibi, 2 casino drink vouchers, 1 emotionally unavailable mobster boyfriend, and our patented desert awareness system. That's right. With desert awareness technology, you'll instantly know when Anthony Sessa's crew is nearby. The FBI started wiretapping your penthouse. Robert Costa is having another panic attack, or David Lopez just walked into the lounge looking suspiciously smooth again. But wait, there's more. Order in the next 20 minutes and we'll throw in the Deluxe Vegas Nightlife Expansion Pack, absolutely free. Including nightclub access until sunrise, prescription sunglasses for emotional damage, luxury penthouse anxiety, 3 fake friends named Vinny, and 1 complimentary therapist screaming, "You people need to leave Nevada." Still not convinced? Listen to these satisfied customers. Texas Joshi. I smoked 6 packs a day and developed permanent trust issues. 5 stars. Robert Costa. I haven't slept since 1982. Vinny D. I thought we were gonna live forever, baby. Deborah Roberts. I should have moved to Nebraska. Munchie's Vegas Survival Kit, TM, is not responsible for federal indictments, desert-related disappearances, gambling addiction, nightclub violence, emotional collapse, organized crime, divorce, paranoia surveillance vans, broken penthouse furniture, or Anthony Sessa entering your life in any capacity whatsoever. Warning: side effects may include chronic nostalgia, emotional emptiness, irrational confidence, casino-induced insomnia, shouting, "The house always wins" during arguments, and developing mysterious opinions about old Vegas at inappropriate family gatherings. So don't wait. Call now. Operators are standing by somewhere inside the Tangier's lounge, smoking cigarettes and making catastrophic life decisions as we speak. Munchie's Vegas Survival Kit. When the city destroys your soul, destroy your credit score too.
A few years ago, I go outside to check my mail, and I see my neighbor Chuck cutting his grass, and I'm like, Chuck, what the hell are you doing? It's like 95 degrees out here, you're gonna get heat stroke. But I guess he just likes cutting his grass, so I go to check my mail, and I smell all that fresh cut grass, and I fall on the ground, and I start choking, and I start seizing up, and when the ambulance gets there, they tell me it's because I'm allergic to fresh cut grass. So then, a few years after that, I joined the military, and I'm at war in a place that's really grassy, and I'm behind enemy lines, getting shot at and all that, and then all of a sudden, the enemy starts charging us with lawnmowers, cutting all the grass in sight. So I smell that grass again, and I start seizing up, and I can't breathe, and I almost died. But then I got to meet the president, and he gave me a Purple Heart, because I'm a hero. When I was little, I was in school with this kid that had like a really little arm. Like one arm was like way smaller than the other one. So we all used to make fun of him, you know, because he kind of looked like a freak. Anyway, his dad was really protective because his whole family died in an accident when the kid was little. So one time on a school field trip, we all dared the kid to go touch this really sketchy looking van, and the kid actually did it. But then he got kidnapped by the guy in the van, who like turned out to be a dentist. So the dad, being all protective, decided to track the kid down and find him. So he teamed up with this girl that had memory problems. Like, she couldn't remember anything. All she could remember is the address of the dentist's office. So then they met some sharks that didn't eat fish, and I don't really remember what they did. But then a bomb went off, and then they met a sea turtle, and he was very nice. And he gave them a ride to Australia. I always get bullied by this guy named Trevor. He used to call me names like Brace Face, you know, because I wore braces at the time. And he used to pull my pants down in front of all the cheerleaders. And they would all laugh at me and say, ha ha, tiny. So one day, I decided to get revenge on him by pulling his pants down in front of the cheerleaders. And boy did that backfire, because he was hung like a horse. All the girls liked him, even Miss Jenkins. I had a crush on her. She was kind of a hot teacher. But anyway, me and Trevor became friends after that because I helped him get so many girls by pulling his pants down. Well, I work at the mall, right, as an elf, so there's a lot of kids around. So this one kid ran up to me and he was like, elf boy, and he kept throwing candy canes at me, and I was like, listen here, you little if you don't knock it off, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth and knock your teeth out. And then he stomped on my foot, so I popped him in the mouth and knocked his tooth out, and he ran away crying, and I was like, now you're useless and toothless, you little I also used to get bullied by this guy named Travis. Now, Travis was a real freak. He put a wasp nest in my backpack. So whenever I opened my backpack, a bunch of wasps flew out and they started stinging me. So I ran around the classroom taking my clothes off. And then everybody just pointed at me and laughed and said, ha ha, tiny. So I wanted to get revenge on him. So the next day, I put a wasp nest in his backpack. And then when he opened his backpack, he got stung by wasps and he ran around the class taking his clothes off. And boy did that backfire because he was packing. All the girls liked him. Oh yeah. Except we didn't become friends because he was pissed that I put a wasp nest in his backpack. Let's say you're at a restaurant and you order some chicken strips and a side of ranch. And so the waiter comes and he brings you chicken strips, but he forgets the ranch. And you say, excuse me, I think you've forgotten my ranch. And he says, oh, right, I'll be right on that. And then I don't see him for 15 minutes. And then he comes back and he says, can I get you anything? And I say, well, I really would like my ranch. And then he says, oh, right, of course, the ranch. And then he disappears for 30 goddamn minutes and then has the balls to come back and say, hey, can I get you the check? And I say, what you can get me is my ranch. And he says, well, you can't talk to me that way. And I say, I can talk to you any way I want. Let me see your manager. And then he says, I am the manager. And I say, well, that's funny because your name tag says waiter, so go get me the manager. So then the manager comes over and says, is there anything wrong here? And I say, yeah, look at my dry chicken strips. I want some ranch. You're going to comp me this entire meal for free, or I'm going to put one of my ball hairs in the food and say that you did it, and I'm going to get this entire restaurant shut down. And then the manager says, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm going to comp you your entire meal. All your food is free today. And then I say, thank you. I also used to get bullied by this guy named Trent, and we rode the bus together. So what he would do was put gum in my hair, which sucked because then I'd have to shave my head to get the gum out, and then everybody would laugh at me and say, ha ha, baldy, and also tiny, you know, because they remembered from when I got pantsed and the whole thing with the wasps. So I wanted to get revenge on him. So what I did was I put gum in his hair, and he had to shave his head. And then the next day, he got hit by a car, and I felt kind of bad. So I went to visit him in the ICU, and I walked in when they were changing his body cast, and he was packing. I mean, all of the nurses wanted to help him. So earlier today I was patrolling in the park, right? And it was a beautiful day. So I was just walking around, minding my own business, and then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this kid runs up and he shoves me. And he yells, "Tag, you're it!" And I'm like, what the hell? What is this, some kind of game? So I start chasing him around, and I'm putting on the burners, right? Because this kid is fast. And he's running around, he's giggling, he yells, "You're never gonna catch me!" And I'm like, oh, when I catch you, I'm gonna beat your ass. So then, we're running around all over the park, and then he trips and he falls in a sandbox. And I'm like, oh, I got you now, you little bastard. And then he kicks sand in my face. And I'm like, oh, you're not gonna kick sand at me. So I punch him in the face. And I'm like, "Tag, you're it." And then he starts crying. And then his mom runs over and she's like, "You just punched my son in the face." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did. What are you gonna do about it?" So I throw her on the ground and I start arresting her. And then all these people run up with their phones out and they start taking videos of me. And I'm like, that's not good. So I start throwing haymakers. I start punching everybody there who has a phone. And then I take all their phones so there's no evidence of what I did. And I run back to my house with all the phones I stole from the people at the park, right? And I throw them down on the counter and I'm like, "Honey, sell these phones on eBay because we're gonna need the money for all the lawsuits we're about to get." So she asked me where the phones came from and I said I confiscated them from some criminals. She goes, "Okay, well I made you some pizza rolls for dinner." So I start jumping up and down because I love me some pizza rolls. So I grab a handful of them and she's like, "Careful, honey, those are hot." And I'm like, "Shut up, bitch." So I start shoving those pizza rolls in my mouth, right? And then my mouth is on fire. Those pizza rolls are boiling hot. They're burning the crap out of my mouth. I mean, they burn the roof of my mouth so bad, I got a little piece of skin that's hanging down and I keep playing with it with my tongue. It sucks. And then my wife has the audacity to say, "I told you they were hot." So I throw the plate at her. I'm like, I know what I did wrong. You don't have to tell me. I should have listened. I know, shut up. So then I'm in a bad mood, right? And then I hear the doorbell ring and I'm like, uh-oh, this must be the angry mob from the park. They want their phones back. But it's not. It's just some Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies. So then I open the door and they say, "Do you want some Girl Scout cookies?" And I'm like, hell yeah, I want some Girl Scout cookies. Shut up. Why am I even here? Take my money. So I give them a 20, right? And then, you're not going to believe this. The Girl Scout says, "Okay, your cookies are gonna be here in 2 to 3 weeks." What? I'm like, what the hell? What kind of Ponzi scheme is this? Are you even really a Girl Scout? So I punch her in the face and I take my money back. So my grandfather was incredibly rich. I mean, he was a millionaire, just filthy rich. And so he was in the hospital and I was visiting him every day, you know, to make sure I got a piece of that. And then I see that he's on life support. He's being kept alive by a machine. Now I'm thinking, what kind of life is that? That's no way to live, being kept alive by a machine. But he seems happy. He says, "When I get this heart transplant tomorrow, I'm gonna feel so much better. I can't wait to get out of the hospital." And I hear, "I can't wait to get out of the hospital." So I'm thinking I'm gonna do the right thing and I'm gonna help him and I'm gonna end his suffering and pull the plug. So I do, and he flatlines and all the nurses come running into the room and I just say that I tripped on the power cord and they believe me. And then, come to find out, what did he leave me in his will? A sofa! Can you believe that? I helped my grandfather go to heaven. Or hell, probably, if all he left me was a sofa. So I wrote
A Pizzaverse Grimtale, The Cat in the Hat Tony Bum Pizza Edition. A Bambi Palermo and Pizzaverse Studios production, written by Bambi Palermo, narrated by Vincent Vinny DiPrio. It was quiet that morning at the social club bar. No drama, no chaos, just espresso and cigars. Frank Pecoraro kept things calm and steady. Aaron coded something. Joey had jokes ready. Deb Roberts was humming, cleaning a glass, while the smell of cigars floated soft through the grass. The piece was sweet until bang went the door, and trouble strutted in like a Jersey folklore. Black Batman tee, red hat striped wide, Tony Bum Pizza, pride and no pride. He grinned like a rat who thought he was slick. "Yo, boys, the cat's back. Let's make it quick." Before they could blink, he whipped out his phone. "Yo, what's up, chat? I'm back on my throne. I'm live at the Pizzaverse social spot. They banned me once, but I forgot." Frank groaned. "Oh, Christ, not this clown." Deb said, "He's filming again. Shut him down." But Tony kept talking, chewing air like gum, spilling espresso, acting dumb. "Yo, Admiral Impeach, tune in, bro," he shouted to the camera, putting on a show. And just like that, from the shadows back, Iron Fist Impeach appeared in black. He stood there silent, all cigar and scorn, a relic from wars both real and sworn. "Tony," he said, voice low and cold, "you're causing chaos again, I'm told." Tony grinned. "Admiral, come on, relax. I'm building content. I'm paying tax." Impeach exhaled smoke, stared through his soul. Son, you couldn't pay attention, let alone a toll. Joey Dimes nearly spit his drink, Aaron muttered. This guy's on the brink. Deb yelled, turn that stream off, now! But Tony kept rolling, taking a bow. Tony leapt up on the pool tabletop, camera spinning, words won't stop. I'm the cat in the hat, you see. They jealous 'cause they can't be me. Then crack, the cue stick snapped. The lights flickered, breakers zapped. Coffee flew, cigars went flying. Deb screamed, you stupid lion! Aaron pulled plugs, Frank called for peace. Joey filmed the chaos for comic release. Impeach just sighed, taking a seat. I've seen coups quieter than this tweet. Tony twirled his hat, half out of breath. I'm trending, baby. I cheated death. Frank barked, you cheated rent, you bum. Joey laughed. Yo, this stream's getting numb. Just as the room hit critical shame, the front door opened, and in she came. Bambi Palermo, coat, heels, fire in her stare, the kind that made full-grown men say a prayer. The place went dead, even the lights froze still, her silence a cinematic kill. Frank, she asked, voice calm but grim, why's there smoke? And him? Tony straightened up. Yo, Bams, it's me, your boy, your cat, just bringing energy. Tony, she said, you bring stupidity and espresso stains to my property. Impeach chuckled low. He's a menace, boss. Bambi nodded. Yeah, but not a loss. She turned to Frank. Get the mop, get the broom, and somebody fumigate this room. Tony grabbed his hat, strutted for show, but tripped on the mic cord, down he'd go. Joey Dimes caught it all, laughing loud. The cat in the hat just face-planted proud. Hours later, the club was clean, like chaos had just been a dream. Impeach sat back, pouring a drink. Some people crave fame 'cause they can't think. Bambi smirked. He'll be back, you know. Frank nodded. Yeah, but we'll keep it low. Deb wiped counters, Joey posted clips. Already viral, boss, 10K hits. Aaron sighed. At least we got views. Impeach muttered. Yeah, but we paid in booze. Moral of the story. When the boss ain't home and the clown rolls in, lock the door or chaos wins. Live streams fade, but stupidity's forever. And fame built on lies ain't clever. If a cat in a Batman tee comes knocking, best keep the Wi-Fi stocking. 'Cause once he's live, you're done for sure, and no admiral alive can restore that floor. And that, my friends, was the cat in the hat. Tony Bum Pizza edition. A fairy tale of foolishness, filmed live in high-definition stupidity. Written by Bambi Palermo, told by Vincent DiPrio, produced by Pizzaverse Studios. Word to the wise, if chaos had a face, it'd wear a Batman tee and a bad hat. Thanks for watching.
If Bambi Palermo ever rolled up on me, I'd stuff her in her own trunk.
Tell my story. The Iceman poisoned my cheeseburger. I beat him. Hector Macho in a street fight. I fought in LSG while Floyd Patterson and Jerry Cooney were watching. I split $20,000 in a week with Sammy the Bull. Yeah, right. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the fucking Con-Man. Yeah, right. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the Con-Man. Tony the fucking Con-Man. I was mistaken for Joey Molino when I was in South Philly and interviewed by the media. I shared champagne with John Cena in Florida. I hung around John Gotti, Tony Pep, Joey Bang Bang from the Bronx, the Varios, the Testers. I was hog-tied and thrown off a bridge, only to be saved by a clever. I hung out with a guy named Captain Chaos. Sonny Francis used to bounce me off his lap and feed me bacon. Yeah. Tony the storyteller. Tony the storyteller. Tony the fucking storyteller. The FBI used to watch me from the van while I panhandle from my refrigerator box like a filthy ball. I spent 20 years with Peter Pasta and Sonny Francesi and Michael for 2 years. People watch my Maltese cross 3 times in Malta, all the way in Malta. Sure, they ain't dead. Tony is scumbag. Tony is scumbag. Tony, you fucking scumbag. You can't be something you're not. Fake mobster, cop, collar, king, doctor. King Tut, feet, cheap, black, but cold dancer. Shaka, shaka, boo, boo, boo. You're squatting in that abandoned camp, betrayed in your sense of their heart.